Hello everyone, I am Abhishek, and in this video we will learn about trigonometric functions. In class 10, we have seen trigonometric functions as the ratios of acute angles. There we have seen sin theta as a ratio of perpendicular and hypotenuse, cos theta as a ratio of base and hypotenuse, and tan theta as a ratio of perpendicular and base. And we also know that cosecant theta and sin theta are reciprocal to each other. Similarly, secant theta into cos theta equals to 1 and tan theta into cot theta equals to 1. We also know the trigonometric ratios for some standard angles like 0 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree and 90 degree. And we also know about these three trigonometric identities. Sin square theta plus cos square theta equals to 1, secant square theta minus tan square theta equals to 1, and cosecant square theta minus cot square theta equals to 1. Now we will learn trigonometric functions defined as circular functions. Now let us consider a unit circle with center at the origin of the coordinate axis. Let P be any point on the circle, and let us consider the coordinate of P is A, B. Let the circle intersect the x-axis at A and C and y-axis at B and D. Now since the circle is a unit circle, then the length of OP is 1 unit and the coordinates of A, B, C and D will be respectively 1, 0, 0, 1, minus 1, 0 and 0, minus 1. Let us suppose the angle AOP be x radian. Then the length of the arc AP will be x unit. Now, as the coordinate of the point P be A, B, then we can draw a perpendicular PM on the x-axis. Hence we can say that OM equals to A unit and PM equals to B unit. Now the triangle PMO is a right angled triangle, right angled at M. Hence we can define sin x equals to B and cos x equals to A, since the hypotenuse is 1 unit. We can also write the coordinate of P as cos x, sin x. So one thing is clear, that if this angle is x radian, then the coordinate of this point P is given by cos x, sin x. Now for example, if x is pi by 3, that is 60 degree, then the coordinate of the point will be cos 60 degree, sin 60 degree, that is half, root 3 by 2. Now we can also see that the coordinate of A is 1, 0 and at A, x is 0 radian, so therefore cos 0 will be equals to 1 and sin 0 will be equals to 0. At B, x will be 90 degree, that is pi by 2. Therefore we can say that cos pi by 2 equals to 0 and sin pi by 2 equals to 1. Now at C, x will become 180 degree, that is pi radian. So therefore we can write cos pi is equals to minus 1 and sin pi is equals to 0. And at the point D, x will become 270 degree, that is 3 pi by 2. So therefore we can say cos 3 pi by 2 equals to 0 and sin 3 pi by 2 equals to minus 1. Now again we further rotate for 90 degree, we will come to the point A again, and which is 2 pi angle, which is of 2 pi angle. So therefore we can write cos 2 pi is equals to 1 and sin 2 pi will be equals to 0. Sin 2 pi will be equals to 0. I did a mistake here. Sorry for the mistake. Their sin 0 will be 0. I mistakenly wrote sine 0 equals to 1. Now we can see that if we start from P, then after a complete rotation of 2 pi, it will again come back to the point P again. Hence, we can write sine of 2 pi plus x equals to sine x and cos of 2 pi plus x equals to cos x. Now we can check, if we make another rotation of 2 pi, then again we get the same function, that is sine 4 pi plus x equals to sine x, cos of 4 pi plus x equals to cos x. Since we can continue in this way, then we can write sine of 2n pi plus x equals to sine x and cos of 2n pi plus x equals to cos x, where n belongs to integers. Now in this diagram we can see that at x equals to 30 degree, that is at pi by 6, the value of cos pi by 6 is root 3 by 2 and sine pi by 6 is half. At pi by 4, cos pi by 4 is 1 by root 2 and sine pi by 4 is again 1 by root 2. And at x equals to pi by 3, cos pi by 3 is half and sine pi by 3 is root 3 by 2. Now let us see what will be the value of cos 120 degree. Now we can say this point is the image of this point. Hence the quadrant of this point will be minus half comma root 3 by 2. Therefore cos 120 degree, that is cos 2 pi by 3 will be minus half, whereas sine 120 degree or sine 2 pi by 3 will be root 3 by 2. Similarly, we can say that cos 3 pi by 4 equals to minus 1 by root 2 and sine 3 pi by 4 equals to 1 by root 2 and cos 5 pi by 6 equals to minus root 3 by 2 and sine 5 pi by 6 equals to 1 by 2. Thus, we can complete the other half of this circle and we will get some values of cos and sine. Let us see what will be the values. Now you can pause the video and check the other half of the circle. Since the coordinate axis divides the circle in 4 equal parts, in 4 quadrants, let us consider this quadrant as a first quadrant, and we can see that here all sine and cos both are positive. Let us consider this one as the second quadrant, and here we can see that sine is positive but cos is negative. Definitely this can be considered as a third quadrant, and here we can see both sine and cos are negative. And in the fourth quadrant, the cos is positive but sine is negative. Now we will try to find out which trigonometric functions are positive in which quadrant. But before that, let us denote sine and reciprocal of sine as S, cos and reciprocal of cos as C, and lastly tan and reciprocal of tan as T. We can see in the first quadrants both sine and cos are positive. So therefore tan will also be positive. Therefore here all functions are positive. But in second quadrant only sine is positive but cos is negative. So therefore tan is also negative. So in second quadrant only sine positive. Since in third quadrant both sine and cos negative, therefore tan will be only positive. And in fourth quadrant only cos will be positive. Now if we take the angles in the negative sense, that is if we take the angles clockwise, then 330 degree will be minus 30 degree. Similarly 315 degree will be minus 45 degree. Therefore we can say that the angles which are in the lower half of the x-axis are the negatives of the corresponding angles in the upper half. Thus, if we check the values of sin x and cos x in both lower half and the upper half, then we can come to the conclusion that sine of minus x will be equals to minus sine x and cos of minus x will be equals to cos x only. You can go back in the video and check the values. Now, since tan x equals to sin x by cos x, then we can write tan of minus x equals to sin of minus x by cos of minus x, and hence it will be equals to minus tan x. So therefore, we can say only cos or the reciprocal of cos, that is the second function, can absorb the negatives. But sine or cosecant or tan or cot cannot absorb the negative sign.